How's it going, everyone? My name is Hirsch, and this is Money and Me podcast, where my job is to deliver you the most insightful knowledge of cryptocurrencies, metaverse, blockchain, DeFi, and whatnot. And today, I have a very special personality with me to discuss about the same. His name is Robert Heft. Robert is the co-founder and CEO at April Nation. So, Robert, without any further ado, I will pass this conversation to you, and please feel free to add on to this introduction so that audience would connect with you just better.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on the show. Yeah, I'm one of the, I guess, the founding seed investors and partners in April Nation. Our token is April. We like to call ourselves April Nation because it's more than just a token. It's more than just a cryptocurrency. It's the people are behind it, and that's what's most important. Myself, I had the background in charity work for the last 15 years. I represented His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, his humanitarian organization in North America. And I did a lot of outreach within the Muslim community in Canada and working to help disenfranchised youth become productive members of society. So my background is in social work. So I love people and I love people to succeed.
Well, that's quite of diverse, like charity and now technology, and pretty much the latest technology that we have right now. So without any further ado, let's dive into this beautiful conversation. So first things first, I would like to know, how did April begin as a project? What prompted the founders to realize that blockchain-powered businesses are the future of the world?
It's interesting, going back to the social work, our founder, I ran an organization for new Muslims. And so in 2008, when I started my relationship in Dubai, I took the founder to Dubai with me, and he got into logistics, working for a company. He had a degree in marketing and international business. And from there, he met a lot of people from India and from Europe, got very much interested in Bitcoin, and in 2014 started his own coin called Nexty. In 2014, because I took him there and I was involved with him, I was also involved in Nexty. And it was, I believe, number 8 or number 9 in the world at the time, before Ethereum. And he dabbled in crypto up until, I guess, 2021. But he relaunched, our founder relaunched now, as you know, April. And it was during that time where he took all the knowledge from the last 8 years or so and put it all into this. And I'm excited to be a part of it. And I guess he fell in love with blockchain. Me, I'm not the tech guy. I'm definitely the marketing end of things. But I understand. I could remember back in 2014 when he was trying to convince me to buy Bitcoin. And I said, what is this Bitcoin thing? I don't understand. I would probably consider myself like a person in the mainstream of 2021 now, saying the same thing about Bitcoin and Dogecoin. But I've been along for the ride. I mean, I was the social worker from the very beginning, and then I was the seed investor and the partner. And I guess he fell in love with the technology, and he's been always ahead of the game. And for me, I've always encouraged him and wanted him to succeed. But I think it was the two of us working together, with me, the head of marketing, and with him, the head of development and technology end of things, that has just really helped us blossom to the level it's at right now.
Okay, I kind of understand it, and that's great. But I still would like to know, what's your take? What was the unique selling point of blockchain for you to come into it? Like, you have a social work mindset, so yeah.
That's a good point. I guess one of the sheikhs in Qatar from the royal family, he was supporting our organization. He sent over 5,000 US, and he said he hoped that this could be something special, turn into something special. So I started dabbling in the market in the beginning of 2021, and oh my gosh, I got really into it, the trading aspect of it, and lost all that money. And at the same time, continued to seed invest in April. And then the combination of just being a seed investor and kind of being there from the beginning, I ended up taking over the marketing. And that was where the big move into April was. But I guess my love for blockchain was the more I really started to understand it, because when you're trading it, you can't just stare at the charts. You have to start to really delve into it. So even I started learning about really what an amazing technology it is, and how it's going to come like a tsunami and take over the world. And to be a part of this, I look at it like the Wild West. So I saw it as a great opportunity. So for me, the more I learn, the more I fall in love with it, because it's such a transparent technology. Although the crypto world is very secretive on many levels, the technology itself is extremely transparent, effective, and it's the way of the future. So I really fell in love with it. And from a charity aspect, you got to remember, I love the idea of standing here right now doing this interview, pressing click on my phone, and somebody's in and it doesn't have to be a poor country, but let's say a country where they're building a well or doing something, and I can just press click and I can efficiently send them over some of our April tokens. They can trade it for USDT, build a well, send me a picture of it. Imagine the administration fees that you would cut. I mean, I've been working in the charity industry for many years, and a large portion of the donations never end up making it into the hands of the needy. So
Great.
I love the whole system.
Yeah. So now I understand the technical aspect and the social point of view, the social work point of view of April. Now I would like to know about April more, as April has been venturing into a variety of sectors. To be more specific, football, FX, or weather. So do these all like work, and the underlying technology for all this is same or not?
Well, see, we started with football because obviously it's it's the most popular sport in the world, and really the idea is getting people to use our decentralized applications and gamifying it. And one of the big problems, as you know, in the past and even now, you get bots come on and scammers come and they represent multiple people. So we have decentralized wallets that we're going to be introducing before the Beijing Olympics that allows the users to have their identification by their fingerprint, and us to know for a fact that it's only one person, one user per gamer. And those gamers are just, we're gamifying real world events. And it starts with football. We can allow people to guess money currency as well and guess the weather. But more importantly, it's to tie it all into our decentralized ecosystem. So by getting people to use our apps, they'll be already tied into our wallet, which eventually will create the ecosystem, which we think will have the real value, where the token will really be able to be utilized and monetized.
Um, you know what I found the most interesting about what you have just said, that you are trying to bring the technology into the real world events. Like you're trying to, what is said, that digital thing into the physical world also. So you're kind of creating an amalgamation of the both of the things, be digital or physical. So I kind of feel that's really great, because um, I have seen like the e-gaming. They are doing cryptocurrency in e-gaming, but I haven't seen till now, before you, the amalgamation of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and DeFi sector with the real world events. So I think that's really great. I also saw that the team is going to Qatar to promote April football. So are we expecting any big news in the end of this month?
Yeah, I partnered with some very prominent families here. In particular, one of the families here is really well connected. They were a top 10 business family in Qatar. And what we're trying to work on first and foremost is prepare ourselves for the Qatar World Cup. So I'm here right now networking with them, and we're trying to prepare for it, because if we can get the proper partnerships, then when we're releasing our app, we're going to put a world-class Dapps together for the Qatar World Cup, where people can really enjoy the experience. And just to give you the heads up, because Muslims, at least we're not supposed to gamble, we've made it easy by allowing people to participate in our Dapps without having to pay any entrance fee. The idea is for people just to share the application with people, and every time they share it with a person, we give them one pick, and then the person can pick it and pick the winner. And we'll have a hall of fame where the people who are winners, you can see, just like in the video games back in my generation anyways, you can see who the winners are, and then they can have from there badges, and those badges will be NFT'd, and those NFT'd badges will then be combined for different prizes. So they can win not only April token, but we can have prizes for drips. And hopefully as the sponsors get bigger, the prizes will get better, inshallah.
Well, good luck for that. And I also like the psychological point behind the, all of this. Like, you are providing them with the winner thing, the leaderboard thing. So it basically, triggers a psychology that I want to be the best. So yeah, that's a great point of view too. So recently, April was also featured in LBank crypto exchange. So are you willing to list it, or are we gonna see many more exchanges to do the same?
Well, I think so, but we basically picked LBank, XT, and P2P because we came in on the Binance Smart Chain network with PancakeSwap, and I mean, even me as sort of a teenager in this world, so to speak, it was really difficult. PancakeSwap's not the easiest. It's decentralized, that's great, but it's not the easiest exchange to work with. So we wanted to make it convenient for people in the beginning. And I would say we're a tier 3 coin moving to tier 2. So that transition, we'll be adding, obviously, hopefully in the future, Qcoin, MEXC, and Gate down the road. But at this point, just to be able to offer people the opportunity to join with a legitimate exchanges to purchase the token. But it's not a priority right now because the biggest priority is in marketing, getting the word out, allowing people to see, and really, I think I have to emphasize this, that really emphasize the technology in the project, because I think where we're above, the vast majority of these, launch sort of pads of these tokens, is that we do really have a technology, a vision, and we have a future in this industry, inshallah. So there's no need for us to pump the coin up and pump the idea of come buy our coin and get rich. That's really a low level mentality. I'm not the rocket Lambo kind of guy. I really looking for quality people. When you find quality people, your project will succeed in the future by the grace of God. When you find the people who are just trying to get rich, I think it's a zero-sum game, and they're just not the kind of people that we're looking for in April Nation.
Yeah, cool. But as scalable as April is, I would still like to know from you, like, in coming 5 years, do you see the big exchanges in the world to host April into them, to list April into the exchanges? What is your point of view on that?
Yeah, I definitely see us on the top exchanges, but I mean, we want it to happen organically. I don't need people to tweet about how great we are right now. I think the project will stand for itself. I think we're so far ahead of the game. I think people are too worried about the top exchanges and not focused on the quality of their project and let it manifest naturally. So I see ourselves, of course, Binance is the goal of most of these these crypto projects, if you will. But for us in particular, Binance is number one right now, but we don't know in the next 2-3 years. This industry is happening so fast. The regulations are coming so fast. We don't know who the top tier ones are going to be. I'm sure there'll be a lot more regulation, but if it continues to be Binance, then of course we would like to be on Binance and in Coinbase and some of the top tier ones in the world. And this is the goal. But I think at that point, we'll be so far ahead of the game that maybe you'll be talking to me in another part of the world, hopefully Dubai, and that's looks to be our headquarters in the future.
Yeah, cool. Also, I would like to mention a great point that you mentioned, to reach there organically, because when we get to a bigger place inorganically, then we miss a big part, that is learning. And it doesn't matter if we reach there now, because we have missed learning in this leap, so we are going to make mistakes later on. So it is better to move on organically so that we can learn on the way, and we can choose better things, we can make better decisions. So now more and more countries and consumers are finding blockchain technology superior, and they're using it. So what do you think about people or communities that are not really supporting blockchain technologies, that are on a back foot when it comes to blockchain or cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, there's a young fella that I met in Dubai this trip, and he said to me, and this was a good way of looking at it, that, if we look at countries around the world that don't have internet, and I can't name a lot of them, but you would look at them like, wow, they're backwards. I think you'll have the same view of those countries in the next 5 years who are not using blockchain technology. That's how amazing this technology is and how necessary it is. I mean, just yesterday I was with one of the investors, and he's never downloaded a wallet. He doesn't understand. You know, they're a little bit older than me. I'm 49, but I completely understand where he's coming from, and he's very skeptical. So I got him to download the Trust wallet, and I sent him over some coins, and he was standing there, and it took about a minute, and you could see the light bulb go off in his brain, because I told him, you go to the bank, you deposit your money, and they tell you, we'll swift it to another country and we'll tell you in 2 days. You never get to see what goes on behind it. And there are some countries in the world that are still corrupt. I mean, they still will say, oh, we didn't receive the money. I told him, I said, the transaction is completed. He said, how do you know? I said, it's factually completed. You must have the money. He showed me the wallet and it was showing zero. I said, no, you have to refresh the wallet. He refreshed the wallet and the money was there. The speed of the technology, the verification process, all that comes with blockchain, all the wonderful industry that it's created. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a one-man show, from a crypto perspective. We love how people are coming in and adding projects and adding value to blockchain, because we love the entire industry. We just want them to be legitimate, that's all, because I think it hurts all of us when people just come in and it's a fly-by-night looking to pull the rug on people and do things like that. So we want to be able to showcase the technology so that when countries do come in, they'll be able to utilize all the best of the best projects that are out there in the technologies, so they can integrate it in their system. Because really it can be used, even the decentralized identity. You won't be able to have to carry your passport or ID anymore. You'll just have your fingerprint to your phone, and they'll be able to verify your ID better than even a real passport, because a real passport can be forged, but your fingerprint and your blockchain decentralized identity cannot be forged. So, I mean, it is pretty impressive technology. It's lightning fast, like our Oracle. Speed is very important in blockchain 2.0. So we're aligned with the BSN network, which I don't think a lot of people even understand. It's basically China's gift to the world, if you will, and probably their version of corporate takeover for America, because they realize, their cryptocurrency is going to now rival the US dollar. But that's another story. You'll see cryptos from all these countries anyways, eventually.
Yeah, I agree. I agree a perspective that many people are not so much exposed to this technology, and they might be reluctant to use it. But my point is, right now, there's some people who know about technology but still are reluctant to use it. So what does future hold for them?
Well, I quite honestly, the sincere ones, it's hard for me to get my head around, because really, unless you're really heavily invested in something that opposes this technology, or you have a vested interest in something that's making money, like the banking system. Like, it's very clear to me that people in the banking sector would be opposed to it, because they feel threatened. They realize that they'll be marginalized. People might be apt to keep their money somewhere else and not let them have the control they have of people. So the banking sector, I expect nothing but negativity from, in general, at least until they can monopolize their own crypto or regulate and try to push down the industry, other than the part of it they like for themselves. The irony of it all: use the technology benefit, but then throw away the rest of the industry that actually got them to that point. So, but generally speaking, I think it's a lack of education. I think a lot of people, their rejection is just out of fear of change and of not understanding. And it's easier to reject something than to try to understand it. So most of the people, I'm sorry, I find it's just more to do with an educational process. And the more it becomes mainstream, the more people accept it. And I'll give you an example. COVID, when it first started, I was saying to people, they're gonna eventually ask for a COVID pass, and people, no, we'll never give up our rights. That will never happen. And the very same people who rejected it in the beginning are actually the ones advocating for it now. The irony of it all. So I see it very similar with blockchain. Some of the biggest advocates against it are going to be the biggest promoters in the future. Mark my words.
Yeah, sure. And I also see the adamant thinking of the people in rejecting blockchain as a future technology, because as I said, in the banking sector, I think what they think is crypto is the subset of finance, when actually finance is the subset of crypto. Crypto has many more applications than just finance. So people in the banking sector should possibly look at the other things that crypto or more specifically blockchain would benefit. So yeah, this is their just adamant thinking. They need to be more flexible with their perspective, I guess. Now let's talk about the April token. With more than $3 million in the market cap, what are the eventual goals of the token? Or are you going to use this token for all of the April Oracle services?
Yeah, the hope in the future is that our decentralized ecosystem, let's say of a million users, then we'll have our cryptocurrency exchange within the users, of course, and April will be the native token of that. And the fiat currencies, as you know, they're probably most of them in the world in the next several years are going to turn into cryptos. So they'll be able to be exchanged for a nominal fee amongst users as well. And we're in negotiations and talking to partners about using them in online shopping and other things. So the token will be used in many ways. But I think the biggest thing is turning it into a blue chip token, where the ecosystem, when it's starting to be monetized through sponsorships and through advertisements, and I mean, imagine you start with 1 million users in our ecosystem, the April token holding it and having 1 million users benefiting from that. I'm on Facebook, for example, and have 215,000 followers, and they don't allow me to reach my followers without paying them. You imagine what kind of business is this? So whereas us as a April Nation, we will be able to monetize the million in the ecosystem by now shopping ourselves around for proper discounts and proper access to hotels, travel, tourism, and other things, and using the token in between us and the hotels, us and the airlines. I mean, the sky's the limit, really. It just depends on, if you remember how Facebook even started, it started with not really having any ideas on how to monetize it, but they realized that once they had the people, then they were able to give it value. So likewise, our token will be a reflection of our ecosystem. So if we can hit 1 million, 10 million, or 100 million users around the world, or even more, God willing, then the real value will become in people wanting access to our people and our ecosystem. The difference with us is, other than using the April token as a utility and a way to monetize and keep the thing growing, we'll be trying to share that with the people of April Nation, so we benefit as users. So people who are token holders, depending on what level they are, will benefit the most from the amount of exposure we get to the rest of the world, who will want access to our people. I mean, that's what it's about. So the token's really a reflection of our ecosystem. The price, we hope, becomes a blue chip token. It's not a stable coin, but at the same time, we can be somewhat incubated from the greater market if we have a very good community behind us, and we know that people are holding it because they would rather hold April Nation than a bank. And at the end of the day, maybe we're increasing our price at that point by 5-10% a year, or down 5 or 10% a year, but they see it as a more stable place to hold their funds, and being a part of something that also gives charity. Myself, my holdings, 50% of them go to charity. We do it as an Islamic waqf. So I'm going to put them aside so I can help the less fortunate, then 50% for my family. Now, I feel greedy at 50%, but I always felt that I could fight the devil on the 50-50, and we'll see where it goes from here. But a big part of what we're doing is to be able to access people in the charity world as well, so they can have a way of benefiting from the April token on the ground, and changing it for USDT or whatever stable coin there will be out there in their native countries, in order to facilitate, anywhere from building wells to buying a sheep, or actually starting a small business, but being able to use April as the native token of charity around the world as well.
Well, what I understand from this, like if you get to study about April token, then you get to see the vision of the community, vision of Robert, vision of whole April Nation behind the crypto token April. So yeah, I can see the technical aspect. I can see the charity aspect, which is possibly coming from you because you have a social work mindset too. So yeah, and that impresses me a lot. Now, I would like to dive deeper and ask a question which recurrently come in the minds of people, like who are trying to invest into a new project, in particularly in cryptocurrency sector. So with so many new blockchain companies out there in the world and many coming, every time and then. So how is April different from its competition?
I think the biggest thing is you're going to get from us, and I know you have to get past it because people are going to say everyone says it, but the honesty, the integrity, and the utility. I mean, that would be the main thing for us. The fact that we happen to be with a founder who was ahead of the game, and we do have a decentralized wallet right now that we're attaching to our Dapps, and we're sort of looking for the future, and we're not, in the present. A lot of companies are coming in and seeing what the latest fad is, and they're coming in. We understand where this industry is headed, and we want to be a part of it. So we're thinking 1 year, 2 years, 5 years ahead. So I think that the difference with us is if you come in, whether our token is 2 cents today or 20 cents, God bless you. We're not really focused on the price. We can continue to go forward because we have partnerships. I mean, in Dubai, we're partnered with the Belhassa family. Belhassa family are one of the most respected families in Dubai. The chairman of Belhassa, friends with Sheikh Mohammed. These people are good, God-fearing Muslims, and they're good people. So finances wise, we have our technology. We're rolling it out. We're not dependent on staying alive based on having our token, making a mass gain in the market. Excuse me. So at this point, the most important thing, and I said it before, is the quality of the people, the quality of investors. We don't care whether you come in and buy 10 tokens or 1 million tokens, but you have to be in there for the project. You have to be in there for the long haul. We understand people want to make money, but I think if you have a big vision and you realize what we're trying to do, that you can only eat or buy or live in so many homes. So instead of thinking about getting rich, finding the happiness within and allowing April Nation just to be an extension of that, not be your focus. Staring at the charts and just hoping and dreaming that we go to $5 and Moon and Lambo, you're probably going to be entering the wrong project. I think where we differentiate ourselves from the rest is that we're not looking for just anybody. We're looking for the special people in the market. We're looking for the people that are sick and tired of the rugs being pulled from underneath them, people that have been promised dreams, that have been given expectations, and people who have been told and not delivered what they've been, promised. What I've talked about, we already have. Where we are is where we're going. Who I am is who I am. I am Robert Heft. I'm not a pseudonym. I'm not a secret person. I'm easy to find. You can find me on Twitter, Wikipedia. So I'm not hiding myself. I think our team is amazing. We have Brother Ahmed Beg and Hakman, who's our founder, unique in their own ways, our development team behind them. I think we have all the ingredients that it takes to be successful long term. So we're not in any rush for you to come in there and put your money in. And if you're just coming in to flip your money tomorrow, then you're wasting your time. So I guess in a nutshell, how we're different is that we're real and we believe in our project, and we're not just looking for anybody. We're looking only for the special people within the industry that can contribute and make April Nation all it can be.
Well, excellent is the word that comes to my mind when I hear about your vision and all of the April Nation projects and how it how is it different from its competition. So I think audience also heard it, and you heard about technology behind April, you heard about vision behind April, you heard about the social point of view, the charity point of view of April, and now I think it's quite clear about why not. I don't understand if anyone would say I won't, invest in April. It would sound quite eerie to me. So yeah, and this was the last question of this interview. I hope there were more because I enjoyed this conversation with you a lot, Robert. It was insightful. I got to learn very much about April, very much about your vision, very much about the societal point of view of April, and how are you aiming to eradicate some of the problems in the world that are often neglected. So, yeah, that was a beautiful conversation. And to all the viewers, I hope you enjoyed this podcast as much as I did with Robert. And Robert, if you have any ending statements you would like to.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing at the end for people to know is that, you know, I'm in the service of mankind. So this is one of the ways that God Almighty has opened up for me to be a part of that. So I have no intention. We went up 5,000%. I didn't sell a coin to the market. We went back down to 2,000% up. I didn't sell a coin in the market. I believe. And if you're the captain of the ship, you have to lead by example. So I want everybody to know that by the grace and mercy of God Almighty, I'll try my best to be a part of this great April nation and lead by example. And I really believe, and I really love to have you on board, but you have to understand that, you know, my goal in life is to share this message. And this message is that, you know, this world is to worship God Almighty. And that's a big message for me. And the best way I can manifest that is to try to be a good human being. And that's how my part in my, you know, sort of hope to share with mankind to the best of my ability is to share that God teaches me to serve mankind. So I'm hoping that I can do my small part with April Nation. God bless.
So you have it. He said it. I heard it. And I hope you check the April project and possibly also invest in it on LBank Crypto Exchange. And this was it for today's podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, suggestion, queries, feel free to leave them, jot them down in the comment section below. And this was it for today's podcast. My name is Hirsch. This is Money and Me. I'll be back with another exciting podcast soon. See you next time.